And welcome to American Airlines Center in Dallas. Western Conference first-round playoff action continues. The usual sellout of 20,336. The Dallas Mavericks hope to make it 2 straight against the Portland Trail Blazers, who have dropped 8 straight playoff games. And the big story for the Blazers is that Damon Stoudemire will start in place of Scottie Pippen, who is out. Sore knee sidelined him late in the year, rendered him ineffective in game number 1, and Derek Anderson gets the scoring underway, and the Mavericks riding the strength of Dirk Nowitzki's 46 points, winning game 1.
And that's the first hoop Anderson scored in the series. Anderson was scoreless in game 1.
And we have a foul, and the personal foul is against Derek Anderson. So this is the guy that Mo Cheeks wants to get underway. He has to be a critical scorer, particularly from the perimeter. Here is Steve Nash driving in to tie the game.
Dallas's pick and roll game is very, very difficult to defend because Nash is great off the pick and roll, and their big men who set the screens are all tremendous jump shooters.
So Stoudemire, who started the year as the starting point guard and finished when Pippen was injured so many times and was out 17 of the last 19 games, will have the assignment of guarding Steve Nash, who is coming off a struggling offensive game for him. Nowitzki with the turnaround, and Bradley trying to keep it away, and LaFrance tipping it into the hands of the Trailblazers, and the ball goes out of bounds, turned over by Portland.
Here we
Bradley from outside, and the ball going out of bounds, and it was an air ball.
See, there is a difficult time for Portland because they're going against the supersized lineup of Dallas. They've got to dominate, absolutely dominate the backboard to have a chance in this series. So far, Dallas is holding their own.
And Nowitzki driving and his foul going to the basket. So Dirk Nowitzki fouled by Rasheed Wallace. Nowitzki coming off the 46-point game, which was a career high and a franchise playoff record. He started the game hitting his first 6 shots. Get an audio person, please. And one of the better free throw shooters in the league, and the Dallas Mavericks, who had the second best free throw shooting percentage in NBA history at nearly 83%.
Again, first game was decided largely on free throws. Dallas was 20 of 24. Portland was only 11 of 21. So for all of Nowitzki's great individual offense, a lot of the game came down to free shots from 15 feet away.
Here's Rasheed Wallace. And the zone defense by the Mavericks, and with 3 7-footers in the starting lineup, they can play that, but the way to beat it is the way Bonzi Wells just hit outside. And Bradley is fouled hard
and that should
by Dale Davis.
That should be a flagrant foul right there. Nash does a great job looking up the floor, finds Bradley running the floor. Davis grabs his arm, pulls him down to the floor. I think he finished it off a little bit hard. I'm surprised that was not called a flagrant foul, and that's what I don't like about the flagrant foul rule. It's so up in the air to the judgment of the officials.
So Sean Bradley, who did not play in the 4th quarter of game number 1, and an excellent free throw shooter, misfires on his first attempt. He was an 81% shooter from the line all year.
This is what I love about how Don Nelson coaches. He allows his lineups to be dictated by the matchup. So here he's going to supersize his lineup, go with 3 7-footers to start the game, play some zone, make it difficult for Portland to match up against Nowitzki. Other times he'll play smaller.
Anderson is guarded by Nash, and here is Bonzi Wells. when the Mavericks took the early lead, and the Blazers had a 10-point advantage. Wallace going strong, blocked by Bradley. And a foul is called. Bradley got a piece of the ball, and also
here Stoudemire was forced baseline. Bradley came over to protect against the baseline penetration, and as Wallace cut, made a nice move without the ball, Bradley came to protect the basket. That's the difficulty of playing against Sean Bradley. He can protect the basket, and it makes you a perimeter jump shooting team. Portland's got to keep attacking the basket. A great cut and a great pass by Stoudemire.
Now Bradley got mostly of the ball, but LaFrentz got Wallace, so Rafe LaFrentz was called for the personal foul. And Rasheed Wallace off a solid game, 11 of 22 from the field and 26 points, makes the free throws to give the Trailblazers a 6-5 lead.
And this is what Portland wanted to do after their made free throws and field goals. Pick up full court, take time off the clock, make Dallas have to work hard to handle the ball.
And Davis trying to deny Bradley. And right now, Rasheed Wallace and 5 different defenders guarded Nowitzki in game number 1. And the ball knocked away, and Anderson trying to save it and cannot. So it'll still be Mavericks possession with 2.5 minutes gone by here in the opening quarter.
That was great individual defense by Wallace. He got up, he closed the airspace down of Nowitzki. Nowitzki did not put it on the floor. Again, they closed it down there, Dick, and forced the turnover.
And Wells got a piece of it. Now Nowitzki coming back, steals it right back for the Mavericks. 6-5 in favor of the Trailblazers, and Nash trying to get into rhythm, and the rebound taken down by Davis. So the Trailblazers looking to be a lot more aggressive, which is their style ordinarily against this Maverick team. And a timeout called by the Trailblazers, and they're going to bring people in off the bench.
Well, what happened, Derek Anderson looks like he hurt his knee a little bit on that last fast break.
So the Trailblazers trying to get back in the series. The season series was 2-2. None of the games were close, and in the opening game, the Mavericks winning by 10 points. But it is obvious that this has to be a lot more physical game by Portland tonight.
Well, Portland's advantage over Dallas is to pound the backboard. They've got to be more physical, be more aggressive, and they can't be deterred from taking the ball into the paint because of the size of the Mavericks. It's got to be a physical. They've got to wear on them and wear them down.
So 9:08 remaining in this first quarter. Antonio Daniels coming into the game. So the Blazers, who dressed 3 point guards for the playoffs in anticipation that perhaps Pippen would have some problems, bring in Antonio Daniels as the first guard off the bench. Averaged nearly 4 a game. And here is Stoudemire driving the baseline, and Bradley getting the rebound.
But that was excellent ball movement against the zone. Stoudemire got a quality look by showing the shot fake and bouncing it once into a rhythm jump shot. He just missed it.
And Nash, it was deflected by Stoudemire, gets it back, knocked away by Wallace into the hands of Bonzi Wells. Wells has Dale Davis and getting his hand in it, and once again Nowitzki with a terrific defensive play and a 2-on-2, and Finley with his first shot of the game off the backboard misses.
And again, that was the second blown fast break by Portland when they had numbers. They could have easily cashed that in. Those turnovers on advantage situations come back to haunt you.
Nearly 4 minutes gone by. Portland by 1. Rasheed Wallace over the top, and the ball will go over to Dallas. So the Mavericks trailing by 1 despite 1 for 6 shooting to start the game.
Neither team is playing well offensively for a couple reasons. The first being that the defensive intensity is up on both teams, but secondly, turnovers. They've got to take better care of the ball.
Already 5 turnovers in the game. Mavericks were 33-8 at home this year. They had the best road record in the league as Nash hits a 3. So Steve Nash, who was only 3 of 11 shooting in the first game, getting underway with the bomb.
That was a great screen by Bradley to free up Steve Nash on a flare screen.
And the loose ball, and kicked out of bounds, last touch by the Mavericks.
And there you see Dirk Nowitzki's size affecting Bonzi Wells as he tried to dribble penetrate. Wells is not a great perimeter shooter. Nowitzki's doing a good job spacing him, trying to make him shoot it over the top.
And here is Wells from the corner, and the rebound taken down by Michael Finley. Finley, as you know, missed 13 games late in the season with a hamstring pull, and the report, Derek Anderson going to the locker room, possibly another injury for Portland. Rasheed Wallace went to the dressing room in the third quarter the other day as Finley follows with the basket to give Dallas a 4-point lead. So now Pippen and Anderson out of there, and it's Daniels and Stoudemire, the backcourt for the Trailblazers.
And again, Finley's going to have a size advantage on the board against either Stoudemire or Daniels. That's a tough cover for both of them.
And Dale Davis, who had the lowest scoring output of his career since his rookie season, keeps it alive with the offensive rebound. Nearly 6.5 remaining in the first quarter. Jeff Van Gundy, along with yours truly, Dick Stockton. Craig Sager is with us as well for this game 2. Daniels, good pass inside to Rasheed Wallace, and fouled by Bradley.
That was another great cut by Wallace away from the ball to get himself free. On his first cut, he got fouled by LaFrance, and Bradley blocked the resulting shot there. He back cut, again, showed the shot to Bradley, got Bradley up in the air, drew the foul. I like the way Rasheed Wallace is not just staying on the perimeter, but attacking the basket with cuts. And
there you see Wallace's numbers in game 1. He was also the leading scorer in 3 games against the Mavericks in the regular season, averaging nearly 23 a game. And the Trailblazers, who have been swept by the Lakers in each of the last 2 years, and in fact knocked out by LA in 5 of the last 6, trying to advance and at least end that 8-game playoff losing streak. So Wallace makes both, and he has 4 of the first 8 points for Maurice Cheek's Trailblazers. Wallace picking up Nash, and Nowitzki open for the moment, had the smaller Daniels, who strips the ball away, and Wells on the transition basket, and the Trailblazers very impressive that way in game number 1, tie it up at 10.
Great effort by Rasheed Wallace. He trapped the pick and roll, then he came back and rotated back, knocked the ball free on Nowitzki's drive, which led to transition basket. Excellent effort, multiple effort by Rasheed Wallace.
So the score is tied at 10, and every game takes on a different scenario. Dirk Nowitzki so far 0 for 3 with a turnover after hitting his first 6 in game number 1. And Bradley's setting it for Nash. Stoudemire staying with Nash in the lane, and looked like he had forced that fall-away shot, but that's Nash's style.
That was up against the shot clock, but if Portland can play that type of defense, they're going to be in this game. Stoudemire did a great job of containing multiple moves by Nash, forced a contested fall-away jump shot. Tremendous defense, better offense.
LaFrance guarding Wallace, single coverage on Rasheed. LaFrance getting the rebound and trying to tie him up, and successfully doing so is Bonzi Wells, and they'll jump it up. But you know, Jeff, it's interesting with Stoudemire, the smaller, quicker player guarding Nash. That seems to be working out for Portland. Derek Anderson had that assignment in game 1, and it took him out of his offense.
Absolutely, they're doing a tremendous job moving their feet defensively. They just have to be more efficient at the offensive end.
Basket on a lay-in, so they have gone into their bench. Antonio Daniels remaining in the game. He has been an effective fill-in, but in the playoffs you don't really want to go to Daniels this early.
Well, there's no doubt your rotation that you work all year to set for the playoffs, you don't want that broken because of injury. So now Pippen, Anderson out, it's going to throw people into longer minutes, different roles, starting against their best players. It just really is a difficult situation for Maurice Cheeks and the Blazers.
Here's the flash pass down the middle to Bonzi Wells, and that has been an effective play so far in the first quarter as Bradley commits his second personal foul, and Wells will go to the line.
Another great back cut by a Portland player. After the timeout, they brought Wells up. Nowitzki was trying to deny him. Then they back cut and got the layup.
Eduardo Najera, who has been bothered himself with a left knee injury, first off the bench replacing Sean Bradley, who goes out with 2 personal fouls. Najera scored 6 points on 3 for 4 shooting in game number 1.
He's their energy player, Dick. He brings some excitement on the defensive end. Hustle player, effort player on the boards, takes charges, runs the floor.
Stoudemire harassing Nash. So it's Nash along with LaFrentz, Finley, Nowitzki, and Najera. Mavericks with 60 wins, tying San Antonio with the best record in the league. The turnaround by Finley. So Michael Finley averaging nearly 20 a game, second leading scorer during the regular season for the Mavericks. And it's a 14-13 game, Dallas. Daniels off the cut, and Antonio Daniels on the seesaw game, giving the Blazers a lead by 1.
Again, Rasheed Wallace doing an excellent job on the pick and roll.
And staying with Nash, now Stoudemire picking up Nash, and Najera tipping it in.
Even though Nash missed that, it created the second shot because Dale Davis had to come over and try to block the shot. That left Najera open for the second shot. When a shot blocker comes, another perimeter defender must sink to the body of the offensive rebounder.
And Wallace getting the basket and the foul, so Rasheed Wallace getting off to another good start, has 6 points, and the Trailblazers starting forwards have 13 of their 17. Foul is on LaFrentz.
The problem with defending Wallace in the low post is he's got such a high release. Again, he has that little fade to it. He's got a high release and a great touch. They're supposed to be coming down, Dallas is, and doubling on the first dribble. They allowed him too many dribbles, got into the middle of the floor.
Nick Van Exel replacing Steve Nash as the point guard for the Mavericks. Van Exel with 4 assists and 8 points in 24 minutes in the first game. That last foul on LaFrentz was his second. Bradley already on the bench with 2, and LaFrentz stays in the game with 2 fouls. Wallace unable to make the free throw. Trailblazers by 1. What are the Trailblazers doing with Nowitzki? It doesn't look like anything other than what they started with last game.
They're just playing harder defense, more intense, closing down how much room he has, and a great job by Otanir Daniels right there to take the offensive foul.
So the offensive foul called against Finley as we check in for the first time with Craig Sager. Craig.
One of those missed fast break opportunities that Jeff was talking about. Derek Anderson made a complete stop, tried to reverse direction, suffered a strained left knee. The orthopedic doctor, Don Roberts, is in there with him right now, trying to loosen it up. He is questionable to return.
All right, Craig, so left knees are the undoing right now of the Trailblazers as the Mavericks get it back on a turnover, and LaFrentz missing from 3. Jeff McInnes checking into the game for the Trailblazers. So as you pointed out, going deep into their guard tandem, they have Daniels and McInnes along with Wells in there with Rasheed Wallace and Dale Davis.
And against this zone, they do not want to get too stagnant. They still want to get penetration and cutting. And again, poor play against the zone with the zone offense against the zone defense of Dallas.
McInnes loses the ball and driving in, and Dale Davis on the foul on Rafe LaFrentz. That is the second on Dale Davis. So both starting centers have picked up 2 personal fouls here in this first quarter. 2:35 remain. It's a nip and tuck first quarter with the Trailblazers leading the Mavericks by 1.
Work against this high-powered Dallas Mavericks team. It's going to have to be Rasheed Wallace playing high minutes tonight and playing with the same energy at the end of the game that he started the game with. He's playing very well at both ends of the floor.
He sure is, and as is Bonzi Wells, who has shown some high energy tonight after a 6 for 15 game 1. He has 2 steals and 7 points, but the size in the backcourt is a factor a little bit for Portland as well.
It is. All of the guards on the floor with Anderson and Pippen out, unless they move Bonzi Wells back into the backcourt, are going to be at a size differential against Finley. And so Finley's post-up isolation game will be very effective. And so they don't want to double team. Portland does not want to double team Dallas and open up the three-point game. So it'll be very interesting to see if Antonio Daniels and Jeff McGinnis can handle Finley one-on-one.
The lead has changed 9 times in this first quarter with 2.5 minutes remaining. The Mavericks continue to play that 2-3 zone, and even though Nahara is in there for Bradley, he's losing some size, they still have pretty good wingspan. Here is McGinnis into the corner to Stoudemire with 5 on the shot clock against the big giant scores. Damon Stoudemire with his second basket.
Very good dribble penetration right there against the zone. They moved it, and they finished well at the basket.
And coming right back is Nick Van Exel in his 10th year. Very reliable 6th man, had an outstanding year for Dallas. Under 2 minutes remaining, 20-19 the score in favor of the Mavericks.
Again, the zone defense cannot take away your aggression. You've got to move it side to side, and again, another turnover, and then attack the basket with cuts and dribble penetration.
Van Exel pulling up for 3. Nick Van Exel with cheers from Steve Nash. And the Mavericks leading by 4. Biggest lead has been 4 points by Dallas early in the game. Here is Wallace finding Bonzi Wells driving against Nowitzki. They want to make Nowitzki play some more defense, maybe take something away from his offense. Mavericks coming back, and here is Van Exel. This time, air ball, and the Blazers coming right back. Portland trying to even the series. They have dropped their last 8 playoff games, dating back to 3 years ago. Inside is Ruben Patterson, who's checked into the game, looking for the foul, but the Mavericks just stuffed him in there. 18 on the shot clock and 40 seconds to go in the first. And finally, the 20-second timeout called by Don Nelson with Finley in trouble on the sideline.
Again, side pick and roll. Rasheed Wallace did an excellent job trapping the pick and roll, clamping the trap. They got good rotation to take away all passing outlets and forced the 20-second timeout to be taken.
Tomorrow's coverage in the playoffs begin at 6 p.m. Eastern. The Pacers and the Celtics, the Nets and the Bucks, and the Timberwolves with a resounding victory over the Lakers last night to tie those series 1-1, all followed by Inside the NBA. So a triple header coming up tomorrow on TNT. So there's Rasheed Wallace on the bench with 6 points and a 4-point Dallas lead. Here's McGinnis defending against Van Exel, driving the baseline, gets it out to Nowitzki. And Ruben Patterson defending and does a good job. Nowitzki now 0 for 4 from the field, and the Blazers used 5 different defenders in game 1 on Dirk Nowitzki.
I just like their intensity against him. They're not allowing him to get in a rhythm and get the shots he wants, and making him put it on the floor and pull up off balance.
6 on the shot clock, and the waning seconds of this first quarter, and a 3-point shot off the side of the backboard by Ruben Patterson, and that will do it for the first quarter. So the Dallas Mavericks taking the lead, and Maurice Cheeks has a major problem here. He has lost not only Scottie Pippen before this game, but Derek Anderson with an injured knee. Bonzi Wells along with Rasheed Wallace trying to keep it going for the Trailblazers. But after 1 here at the American Airlines Center in Dallas, it's the Mavericks 23 and the Trailblazers 19.
Scottie Pippen trailing Dallas by 4, 23-19. Pippen had arthroscopic surgery March 18th to clean debris in his left knee. Although the surgery was successful in trying to speed up the rehabilitation process, fluid formed under the kneecap and in the calf. He said in Saturday's opener, he did not have any explosiveness nor little lateral movement. He could not practice yesterday nor today. He is second all-time in the history of the league in playoff games. He said, physically I'm in pain, but mentally I am in anguish. Also very questionable if he can return this weekend.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. And second all-time to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And after his first game performance with the great pride that he has, 32 minutes, 5 points, and 4 turnovers. He said, I was terrible, but he has a good reason.
Right, and now the games are going to start coming at a more frequent pace, so it's going to be very difficult for him to get back and get into this series and be healthy.
Arvydas Sabonis, the 38-year-old veteran, now a spot player off the bench, has come in for the Blazers as we start the second quarter. And here is Jeff McInnes with the short jumper. He misses. The Mavericks can't feel that bad. They have 23 points, as many as they had in the first quarter of game one. Dirk Nowitzki going 0 for 5. And the three-point attempt by Finley, and taken down by Zach Randolph, who has given the Trailblazers good mileage this year.
Zach Randolph is an excellent low-post scorer, and I really believe right now with the lineup that Portland has on the floor, as Ruben Patterson gets fouled, that ball's got to go into the post to Sabonis and to Zach Randolph against the man or against the zone. They've got to touch it, play inside out.
Adrian Griffin starting the second quarter as you look at Ruben Patterson picking up a foul, and Steve Nash will come back in for the Mavericks. Nash scoring 7 points, including a 3 in the opening quarter. So Ruben Patterson on the free throw line, a 63% shooter during the regular year. And he misses the first. Patterson out there with Daniels and McInnes in the backcourt, and Sabonis and Zach Randolph up front. And free throw shooting, a major problem for the Trailblazers, Jeff. They were only 11 for 21. Not a good free throw shooting team in general.
Not a good free throw shooting team. It's one of the critical areas in close games, and so they're going to have to knock it down, home or road, in order to advance in this series. Patterson
missed them both, and so the Mavericks still lead by 4 as you look at the free throw shooting and field goal shooting score compared to game one. Here is Nowitzki, and he finally makes the field goal. 1 for 7 is Dirk Nowitzki, and now the Mavericks are up by 6.
And that was a bad matchup in the Portland zone because they had Sabonis guarding Nowitzki. He could get airspace and the jumper, and if Sabonis crowds him, he's going to drive by him.
And McInnes, the former Los Angeles Clipper, and Daniels driving with an off-balance shot attempt, but Arvydas Sabonis getting the rebound, and Nowitzki gets knocked to the floor, and Sabonis will be called for the personal.
Great defense by Dallas there. They talked in their shoot-around earlier today. They wanted to front Sabonis in the post to prevent him from catching it. That's what made the ball swing to the weak side. Antonio Daniels then had to go one-on-one, took an off-balance runner.
Nash and Van Exel at guard. And it's Griffin with Nahara and Nowitzki up front for Dallas. Van Exel fakes shooting the 3, and Nowitzki now 1 for 8. And here is Stoudemire, who was the starting point guard with Pippen out of there, back in there. Little more than 2 minutes have gone by here in the second quarter. And the feed into Randolph, and Randolph is fouled. Trailblazers now going to the free throw line again.
Here Nowitzki gets slapped across the eye with Sabonis guarding him. Gives him a dirty look. And now at the other end, a little flop by Nowitzki. But he drew the foul.
And when he flops with the hair, it even looks more impressive with the floppy hair on top of all that.
Yeah, Nelly teaches those flopping tactics. You know, I worked for him, and he teaches it better than anybody. So.
And did you teach it to your club after you learned it from him?
Most NBA players now just do it naturally. It's one of the things, I think there should be like a diving call like they have in hockey, where it's an automatic, like, technical foul in the NBA. As Nash drills one, I think the flop in the NBA should be taken away with technical fouls. Another radical rule change.
You go tell Nelly that. So the 3 by Nash is second of the game. He has 10 points. 7-point lead for Dallas. McInnes and Sabonis And McGinnis coming up empty. He's getting some opportunities and good looks. Here's Van Exel. And Van Exel hitting a three. And that's how the Mavericks do it. All of a sudden, it's a 10-point lead. And Maurice Cheeks wants to talk it over before this game, at least in the first half, gets out of hand.
Again, Dallas is at their best in transition. Here the ball gets advanced up to Van Exel. He's open. They like to shoot the transition three. He knocked it down.
A 10-2 run by Dallas and a double-digit advantage. And Jeff, as we look at the Mavericks, slow start for Dirk Nowitzki, but when you look at Nash, who had 10 in game one, and Van Exel, his backup with 8, they have already matched their game one output scoring-wise.
Well, again, that's why you can't say all we have to do is stop Nowitzki. Every game takes on its own personality. You've got to guard the entire team. And really, I think so far, the defense by Portland against Dallas in general has been excellent. Their offense is lagging behind. They're only shooting 33%. They've already turned it over 6 times. So really, right now, Dick, their offense is hurting them much more than their defense. Their defense has been sound and solid.
3 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. And a 10-point lead. Zach Randolph and McGinnis, they're looking for Sabonis inside, but Nowitzki is trying to deny, and Randolph really lost his balance, and here is McGinnis, and McGinnis getting the basket. No, they're going to call the charging foul on McGinnis, struggling here in the first half.
Again, Dallas does not get credit for his defense, but here McGinnis penetrates. Nahara rotates over early, way outside the restricted area. An easy call, a blatant charge. Great anticipation by Nahara.
And of course the Dallas Mavericks, who improved statistically defensively from a year ago when people thought they played no defense at all, certainly a factor in their game this year. Will it be a factor against the other giants in the West remains to be seen. 8 on the shot clock, and the pass down to Nahara with the fall away. And Arvydas Sabonis the rebound.
And I like the substitution by Maurice Cheeks, getting Rasheed Wallace back in the game. He's got to be a focal point of their offense.
Ruben Patterson cannot convert down low, and the Mavericks get it right back. And here's Griffin. Crashing the boards was Nowitzki, and Stoudemire nearly lost the handle on that one. So 4 minutes gone by, and the score remains the Mavericks 31 and the Trailblazers 21. And working his way inside is Rasheed Wallace. And Wallace now with 8 points.
Dick, that's what they got to do every time. Drive that ball into the post to Rasheed Wallace and play out of that. Whether it's his shot or they double team and he hits it out to an open man.
Trailblazers had not scored a field goal in nearly 6.5 minutes before Wallace converted. Here is Van Exel, and off the front rim, Ruben Patterson steps on the bound, steps out of bounds, turning it over.
Rasheed Wallace backs in. He sees Nash come on the double team. He knows he's got the length over Nahara. He turns away from the double team. He's got a soft touch, gets it up on the rim, and gets it in.
Trailblazers turning it over, and now the Mavericks with Nash trying to get it to Nowitzki. Saves it in the corner. Plenty of time on the shot clock for Dallas. The double team on Nash out on the perimeter. Always a risky proposition with big people, and Nowitzki comes in and scores.
And that's where his game has really improved. There was a pick and roll, it was trapped, Wells rotated to Nowitzki, and he's gotten to be much more comfortable on the low post. Showed the shot, stepped through, got an easy one in the post. When he first came to the league, no post-up game.
6 points for Nowitzki, and Sabonis from the perimeter. Sabonis, who took a year off, coming back to rejoin the Trailblazers this year after a long career with them. Wallace crashing the boards with Griffin, and the ball out of bounds, last touched by the Mavericks. Dallas leading by 8. Nearly 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Game 2, the scene will shift to Portland for games 3 and 4, Friday and Sunday. And Stoudemire tripped and fell down, and the foul will be called against Steve Nash, his first.
Again, he tried to turn the corner. Nash a little push from behind. Pick and roll with Sabonis is very effective because he can shoot it, he can pass it off the first pass, but I'd still like to see them milk Rasheed Wallace on the low post a little bit more to try to get him going. He's too good down there for Nahara.
And Wallace shooting over Nash. And Nick Van Exel with the rebound. The Trailblazers get back quickly defensively. Here is Nash. Good ball movement. Griffin, who started 48 games this year for the Mavericks. And Nowitzki fires up an air ball. He's 2 for 10 from the field. And Bonzi Wells doing what he does best, going strong to the hoop.
Good defense. Good offense for Portland. Even though they are down 6, I think they're in good position because they're playing with great intensity defensively. They've just got to be a little bit more consistent on offense.
And the ball fired away and another turnover. The big question for the Portland Trailblazers, as Don Nelson shows his disgust over the turnover, is can they outlast the Mavericks with all of their injuries and going as deep into the bench as they will be forced to tonight. Most of this first half, and it's been down to 6 because the Trailblazers have closed the gap and playing effectively now.
Dallas's defense has been outstanding, both zone and man-to-man. Portland has yet to establish what they can go with. I like them going into the post here to Sabonis.
And Arvydas Sabonis with the familiar move. Sabonis, playing only 9 minutes, scoring 3 points in the opening game, already has 4, and it's down to a 4-point Dallas lead.
He's just too big for Nowitzki in the post.
Nowitzki feeding Nahara inside, and McGinnis trying to cover him, committing the personal foul. That is the second on Jeff McGinnis. Dale Davis picked up 2 early for the Trailblazers and came out of the game. He has not scored. Pick and spot up to Rafe LaFrentz. And the ball knocked out of bounds. Last touched by Bonzi Wells. Couldn't keep the balance. So the Mavericks with a new clock and 5:05 remaining in the second.
Good effort by Sabonis to contest the shot, but Portland must dominate the boards to win this series, and they're down a rebound already. That's not going to be good enough as the ball goes out of bounds off Nash. It won't be good enough to win the series. If they can't rebound and out-rebound Dallas consistently, I don't think they have any chance of advancing.
Hey, I agree, and also to be aggressively going after the loose balls, such as the balls that are knocked away on those rebounds. And there is LaFrentz, who is denying Sabonis, and there is a 3-on-2 break, and Rafe LaFrentz with the basket. LaFrentz only 7 points in the opener, has 4 right now, and Mavs lead by 6.
Already, Portland has 9 turnovers for 11 points. That's just too many giveaways.
And Rasheed Wallace trying to crash the boards, getting a second effort. Good pass to Nahara. So this is the Mavericks style with Nash, Van Exel, and Nahara. And the Mavericks now with 13 fast break points, and they lead by 8. Stoudemire and Nash trying to keep him at bay with 10 on the shot clock. Skip pass, and there is Bonzi Wells hitting a 3. So a 3-point basket for Portland. Their first of the game brings them to within 5. Again, the pick and roll, and staying with Nash is Stoudemire, and that'll drop in. So Nash now with 12 points here in the first half, and he is the Mavericks' leading scorer. On the shot clock for the Trailblazers. Here's Sabonis with the pick and roll and the foul.
Again, they're trying to front Sabonis in the post. The ball got lobbed over the initial defender. Nahara came late. Here we see LaFrentz do a great job fronting the post, getting the steal. Great dish by Nash. So LaFrentz stole it, deflected it, ran the lane, did it all. Very good running of the floor after tremendous low post defense.
Zach Randolph returning to the game, and Bonzi Wells will go out, having scored 12, and Bonzi Wells will stay in, and McGinnis will sit down for the Trailblazers. That foul was on Nahara. Sabonis makes both free throws, and again a 5-point lead for Dallas.
And this is an interesting lineup for Portland. Rasheed Wallace is playing the small forward position with Zach Randolph and Sabonis in the game at the same time.
Wallace is guarding Nowitzki as Nash fires away. Nahara with the offensive rebound, keeping it alive. Portland really dominated Dallas off the offensive glass in game one, though they lost. Under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Here's Nowitzki, and Wallace takes the foul, and Nowitzki gets the basket and a chance for the three-point play.
That was a tremendous individual offensive move. Nowitzki likes to go left, and if cut off, spin back to his right, creates the contact, and the friendly rim here at American Airlines Arena gives him a three-point play possibility.
And Ro, as you sat there and watched Dirk put on the performance, what was your feeling, particularly with your record falling?
Well, the thing about it, but Dirk is a great guy, so the important factor, I was happy for him and happy that he got it in a win. It's a big record, though. 46 points he put up, too. I wish I'd put up more.
Well, 43 is one thing, but to come back with another 40-point game when you're the target, all defenses just in trying to stop you, what difficulty is Dirk finding tonight?
Well, the important thing is that they're playing his shot a lot harder right now, and he has to keep himself moving, and he has to utilize his teammates a lot better if he's going to get clear shots and continue to hit. It's going to be difficult, but I hope he gets the win.
Ro lost one record, but he still owns the Dallas Mavericks record book. Dick.
All right, Craig, thank you very much. And, of course, Rolando Blackman, a member of the Mavericks team that went the farthest in playoff history for them back in '88, losing to the Lakers in 7 games in the Western Conference Finals.
And truly one of the class individuals that we've ever had in the NBA. I had a chance to be an assistant coach with the Knicks when he went there to end his career, and there was no harder worker, more dedicated professional than Rolando Blackman.
Nowitzki now with 9 points. Dale Davis, who picked up 2 early fouls, is back in the lineup for the Trailblazers. An 8-point lead for the Mavericks, and Wallace driving against LaFrance, and turn around, not to be denied. Looks like he's a little angered by the way this has gone so far.
Great second effort, quick second jump. He missed the initial one, then beat everybody back up on the board as the ball came off on the other side of the rim. Great individual play. Takes it right on the baseline drive, misses, lands, and then gets back up to Duncan on the other side of the rim before anyone else is up off the floor. This guy, unfortunately, is known too much for his behavior. He is one of the great stars we have in the game, and I just wish that he would get the credit that he deserves for his individual greatness.
And a lot of what he does, he can control himself, and he is always the object of those looking for the technical, so he has to change that. So LaFrance on the miss, getting the basket, and it's an 8-point lead. Sean Bradley checks back into the game, replaces Nahara, who was effective off the bench.
They've just got to block out. That was too good a defense by Rasheed Wallace against Nowitzki to give up an uncontested second shot. You've got to have bodies on bodies.
With 5 on the shot clock, Bonzi Wells hits his second from beyond the arc, and 15 points for Wells. 5-point lead for the Mavericks. Here is the pick and spot up, and Nowitzki with the fall away. He is struggling from the line, and Wallace getting the rebound. 3 of 14 shooting for Dirk Nowitzki here in the first half, but the Blazers cannot capitalize on a 3-on-2 situation. Nash going back to Nowitzki, and no foul is called on Wells, and Don Nelson is off the bench yelling at Ted Bernhard. It was deflected out of bounds, and so the Mavericks will inbound with 18 on the shot clock.
Dallas does not like how physically and aggressive Portland's playing Nowitzki tonight. He goes on the dribble. He got the ball cleanly first, and then the body contact came.
Wallace against Nowitzki with a pump fake, and no foul again, and it was blocked again. And now they're going to call the pushing foul on Zach Randolph. So Randolph called for the foul. The crowd into it very much here with the physical style of the Trailblazers.
Nowitzki turns in, shows the shot. Wallace comes down. That looks like partly ball, but a foul. I think that one was missed. Nowitzki, though, cannot get into whining about non-calls. He's got to play through it. As Rolanda Blackman said, use his teammates more.
And as Nash drives to the basket, the reach-in foul. And that will be against Damon Stoudemire, his first. Coming up on the Verizon Wireless Halftime Report, Ernie Johnson along with Kenny Smith and Charles Barkley will have highlight and analysis of the Hornets-Sixers game that preceded us and the Magic Pistons battle. And a big night again for Tracy McGrady, although Detroit was leading at last view. Under a minute remaining in the first half, 8 on the shot clock. Nash losing the ball. And another reach-in foul called, and this will be a shooting situation. Wallace on the bench now. He has scored 10 points here in the first half for Portland. Has done a terrific job, but Nash, a great free throw shooter, will be on the line. Nash at 91%, third in the NBA. Stoudemire with 2 quick reach-in fouls, his first 2 fouls of the game, and a rare miss for Steve Nash.
And Portland right here should be looking for a 2-for-1 situation, trying to get 2 quality looks off.
And there's Bonzi Wells, and the charging foul called against Wells from the baseline, and now just learning that the foul was called against him. And keeping his displeasure under wraps, as is Maurice Cheeks. The Portland Trailblazers turning it over 11 times here in the first half.
And here they got out substituted. Dallas went small. Dale Davis was caught on Nick Van Exel, and it led to a 3-point shot.
Nowitzki hits
be
the
on
3.
top of your matchup stick.
Under a half a minute remaining, and about 7 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Dale Davis, defended by the 7'6" Bradley, has to go out with it. Wells going for another 3, and that's his third here in the first half. Bonzi Wells has 18 points, 5 more than he scored in the opening game. And now with the shot clock off, a 6-point lead for Dallas. And here is Van Exel with a runner off the rim, and that'll do it. So the Trailblazers, thanks to Bonzi Wells, going long range down the stretch, which has been the style of Dirk Nowitzki and his Mavericks.
Well, I just think that Dallas survived a poor half by Nowitzki, but Portland, even though they're down 6, I like their attitude in this game. They're active, they're aggressive, and they've just got to play better offensively to complement their defense.
And right now, let's send it over to Craig Sager.
Obviously, Portland concentrating on stopping Dirk Nowitzki. What role are you trying to do out there, particularly offensively?
Just try and get in my spots and knock down shots when they come my way. I think we hurt them pretty badly, strong side basketball last time. Trying to get the ball weak side, and that's when we come into play.
Jeff Van Gundy was pointing out how you're fronting the post, particularly if Sabonis is in there, but you guys need to spend more time worrying about Rasheed in the second half.
Well, Sabonis is such a great passer that that's a priority for us to deny him the basketball whenever he's on the floor. And Rasheed, he's going to get his. He's a great player, and if you give him open looks, he's going to knock him down.
Well, great hustle at both ends.
Thank you.
Dick.
All right, Craig. Well, in game number 1, the Trailblazers led by 10 at the end of the first half, and now the Mavericks, who won that game, are up by 6. And right now, let's send you back to our Atlanta studios. But when you consider 12 points, he's averaging 25 on the year, so he's halfway to that mark. Just forget about the 46 number. That was out of sight. But the 12 points, not a bad number for him.
No, he finds ways to score, but I love the way Rasheed Wallace has defended him. He's crowding him, taking away his space, making him put it on the floor, going in to help, and he's guarding both his first move and second move. Rasheed Wallace is showing why he's such a terrific defender.
And there is Nowitzki, who beat Wallace to the basket on the feed from Finley. And the lead is 8. Damon Stoudemire, who started 9 of the first 10 games for Portland, and all the games that Scottie Pippen missed down the stretch, beginning this game. Antonio Daniels also in the backcourt with Bonzi Wells Dale Davis and Rasheed Wallace, and let's get a report from Craig Sager.
With Portland's defense swarming Dirk Nowitzki, Don Nelson wants better spacing from the other teammates. There are 3 spots on the floor he wants the players to go to. One's the dunk spot under the basket, another the slot spot on the free throw line, the other is the spot-up spot on the weak side. That's where he wants to see Rafe LaFrentz, Sean Bradley, and Michael Finley. Dick?
Again, what he's talking about is getting better spacing so Nowitzki can use those people to pass to off the dribble. What I like, as Wallace takes a hurried shot, what I like that Dallas did coming out and why Coach Nelson's such a good coach is he got Nowitzki a layup on the first play to get his confidence up.
Finley misses a 3 and winds up with the loose ball. And they won't get Rafe LaFrentz to execute that for a while because he has picked up his 3rd foul, gone to the bench, replaced by Eduardo Najera, and a reach-in foul by Bonzi Wells. Wells with 18 points and hitting the 3 from downtown, paving the way for the Trailblazers in the first half. Maurice Cheeks in his 2nd year, and here is Nowitzki trying to find an open space. He does, but misses as Davis clears. Stoudemire trying to run Nash into a screen in the lane to Davis, who converts. So Dale Davis scoring for the first time tonight.
And that takes advantage of Stoudemire's greatest strength, which is his pick and roll game. He's very good probing off the pick and roll. Thought about the shot, found Davis late with the pass up in the air.
Finley defended by Daniels, who now picks up Nash on the switch. So they want to post up Michael Finley against the smaller Stoudemire. Daniels trying to help out with 2 on the shot clock. Finley will be forced to throw up a long shot from the corner. So good defense by Stoudemire in the low post made it tough for Finley. Stoudemire in traffic, and Dale Davis fouled hard by Bradley.
Excellent defense at one end leads to transition opportunities at the other end, and a foul. There's Stoudemire probing the pick and roll. Bradley steps up to help, throws a nice little lob up to Davis that he can catch and finish. Finley should have sunk to Davis to prevent that pass, but a very good play by Stoudemire.
And Bradley now with 3 fouls, so LaFrentz on the bench with 3. Bradley remains on the floor, and Dale Davis, who has never been a good free throw shooter, 63%. Missing the first from the line. In the first half, the Trailblazers were 9 of 12 from the strike. One out of 2, and the lead is down to 5.
Portland's just got to hang around, hang in there, and try to win this thing at the end. They're going to struggle to score, but they're playing very good defense.
Nowitzki with a smooth 3, his 2nd of the game, and he has 17 points. But Nash has come alive on the offensive end, and Van Exel off the bench for the Mavericks thus far. Wallace down to Davis, looking at the large frame of Bradley, and throws the air ball up. Mavericks coming back, trying to open up a 10-point lead once again, which would match their biggest of the game. Bradley open in the corner and misses.
The fans were groaning on that shot, but that's a very good shot for Bradley. Bradley's a good spot-up 15-foot shooter on the baseline.
Najera getting bumped down low by Rasheed Wallace. And the foul will be on Najera, his 2nd personal foul. Tough job he has against Rasheed here.
Najera's a physical defender. I wouldn't be surprised to see a double foul called down there. There's a lot of contact. It's hard to discern who instigated it. Don't be surprised if you see a double foul.
Stoudemire for 3, and Bradley with the rebound.
Stoudemire's got to give him some offensive punch. He needs to put some points on the board. Wells and Wallace are just not enough. They can't score enough to win this game.
And Nash's pass trying to get to Bradley, who fell way short, and Davis gets it into the hands of Stoudemire. He knows he has to get on track on his foul going to the line. And Steve Nash with his 2nd personal foul, and Damon Stoudemire will shoot 2. Stoudemire had been a forgotten man. As Jeff had mentioned, started the first 9 or 10 games at point guard, and then Maurice Cheeks made the big move going with Scottie Pippen. Stoudemire didn't like it, but learned to accept it. Log on to the special NBA.com playoff section throughout the postseason for history, news, features, and series breakdowns. That's only on NBA.com or America Online, keyword NBA.com.
And I like the way Stoudemire handled it. He stayed as Pippen progressed, and they started to play so well with Pippen at the point. He handled the decision like a professional. He stayed, he worked, he stayed with it and stayed ready, and that's why he was able to play so well in Game 1 when he got the opportunity.
Former NBA's Rookie of the Year as a member of the Toronto Raptors. Nash trying to penetrate against Stoudemire and forcing Nash to take the ball away, and Nash hits.
Again, that's excellent defense. Stoudemire can do nothing about that. Nash is just very effective off the dribble. And it shows you why teams like bigger guards, because big guards can defend those types of shots much more effectively.
Bonzi Wells, and a late foul called on the shot put up by Bonzi Wells. And talking about Nash, he now has 15 points, 2 below Dirk Nowitzki's, 17 to lead the Mavericks. And the foul is against Nowitzki. It'll be his first personal foul. That was a late whistle on that.
But I don't mind late whistles as long as they get the call right. I think the official's job is to make sure it's right. I think sometimes players and coaches, as I did, overreact to the lateness or the quickness of the whistle, but the official's job is just to get it right. And Dick, as you saw before that free throw was shot, there was a little bit of a confrontation between Dale Davis and Nahara. Those two players are very physical, and Wallace, coincidentally enough, was the calming influence, breaking that little confrontation up, making sure that Dale Davis stays in the game.
Well, that's an unusual scenario.
And that's a good sign. He knows how valuable Dale Davis is. They need all the big bodies they can get. He got him away from the situation. Very good leadership by Rasheed Wallace right there.
And here's Bradley with the wheeling shot missing, and Davis getting the rebound. 7-point advantage for the Dallas Mavericks. The Pickett spot up, Wallace for 3, and Stoudemire comes and gets the long rebound to set up another play. Finley guarding Stoudemire, and they have Nowitzki on Wells. Wells going strong to the hoop, lost control of it. Now he's got it again and fights his way in and draws the foul. That is Bonzi Wells giving extra energy to the Portland offense on that play.
Very good hustle, but if he was the first player to touch it, as we see Nahara and Davis get, oh, that's an elbow by Nahara. That should have been called a foul or a flagrant foul. But I was saying, when Bonzi Wells drove baseline, Dick, and he shot it, I don't know if anyone else touched it. So if he was the first one to touch it, that should have been a traveling call.
And he might have caught his own shot, but Wells making good on the first free throw, and the officials are going to have to keep things under wraps because there are some tempest storming here as Rafe LaFrance, who has 3 fouls, replaces Sean Bradley, who just picked up his 4th foul.
Nahara's a very aggressive physical defender, as is Dale Davis, and they are both stirring the pot right now. They've got to play aggressive without crossing the line.
Trailblazers 14 of 20 from the free throw line. And that really hurt him in game number 1. Here's Finley, long range, hitting the 3. Finley with his first, and 7 3-pointers for the Mavericks tonight. And they open up a 9-point bulge. Stoudemire trying to get in the paint, and he is defended well by Nash, getting it back. Wallace trying to set a screen. 7 on the shot clock for Portland. Here's Stoudemire driving in against 2 defenders, and they're going to call the foul. Nash, and let's see who they get it on. Remember, LaFrance has 3, and now they have changed it to LaFrance with 4. So LaFrance and Bradley, 2 of the 3 starting front court players for the Mavericks, each with 4 fouls, and we still have 6:45 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Stoudemire now 3 for 3 from the line tonight.
And Portland's going to be shooting the bonus the rest of the quarter. They got to make sure they keep taking the ball to the basket, driving it to the basket, posting the ball up, but then they've got to knock down their free throws. Wells missed 2 before that could have cut it to 4, and then it was a 3-point shot at the other end to stretch the lead to 9.
But the Mavericks definitely have foul trouble in their front court, and it is a 58-51 Mavericks lead. Nowitzki finding an open space against Wallace, and Davis tearing down the rebound. Former Indiana Pacer now has 9 off the glass. Stoudemire, stop and go, going down the middle. Pretty play, but nothing doing, and trying to save it. And Bonzi Wells gets it in bounds. Good hustle by the Trailblazers. Wells going in. And the foul now. The blocking foul called against maybe LaFrentz with his 5th. We'll see.
There we see Dale Davis with a great rebound. Pippen, like the pro he is into the game mentally. I think one of the great, or the most underestimated part of Pippen's greatness was his basketball IQ. Very high basketball IQ, and he brought that to the floor in Chicago. He brought it to Houston, and now he brings it here to Portland. But Dick, I want to make the point about Stoudemire's penetration off the pick and roll and then Wells' last drive. With Bradley not in the game, you can attack the basket against Dallas, and it's leading to a lot of foul trouble. So with Bradley back in there, they've got to be smart. Keep attacking the basket, but find Bradley's man for dish-offs.
And LaFrentz with 5 fouls going to the bench. Bradley in there with 4. Here's Nahara going back to Nash. 10 on the shot clock. Under 6 minutes. Here's the pick and roll with Nahara. Beautifully done. 7-point lead. And Bradley out on the floor playing with 4 fouls. And Bonzi Wells from long distance. Wells now with 24 points in the game, and it's Wells. Wallace has cooled off after an early start. He has just 10. The lead is down to 5, and there's Finley again for 3, and nothing but Trailblazers under the boards.
And if Bonzi Wells is making his jump shot, he's impossible to guard because he can drive it and he can post it. If he's making that perimeter jump shot, he's difficult.
Stoudemire trying to penetrate, and it was last touched by the Mavericks. So Portland will get it with 13 seconds to go. Stoudemire trying to get that offense going in his penetration. Nowitzki has 17 to lead the Mavericks. They're in foul trouble, but they have a 5-point lead.
Last night, unbelievable intensity, energy, and emotion. Everyone fed off it. Troy Hudson came up big. Serbiak came up big. I think that can still be a long series, but I still expect the Lakers to prevail.
How about the numbers in free throw shooting here in the quarter? Trailblazers are 9 for 12, and the Mavericks still have not gone to the line. 5 on the shot clock. Stoudemire hitting a 3, and the game is a 2-point affair now, 60-58. First field goal of the game for Damon Stoudemire.
But I like in this quarter how aggressive he's been, attacking the basket, looking for his offense, because he needs to be that third scorer along with Wells and Wallace.
Van Exel trying to match Stoudemire with a 3, and the ball batted out by Nowitzki. 60-58. Biggest lead has been 10 points for the Mavericks, and here is Nowitzki trying to get a shot off, and the foul, and the basket would have counted had it gone. And Rasheed Wallace chalking up his 3rd personal.
Again, that's a good call. Nowitzki has a penchant for driving to his left, so when Wallace closes out on that wing, he wants him to have to take that ball to the baseline. That's a big foul. That's Wallace's 3rd. They've got to make sure that he can stay in the game. I don't believe Wallace should come out this entire half. He and Wells need to play straight through.
Especially with, as you mentioned, the injuries, not having the Pippins and the Derek Anderson. I mean, Derek Anderson, very key man, averaging, 15 points a game. this year for the Trailblazers. They're not getting his points, nor Pippen's. Nowitzki now 5 for 5 from the line, and the Mavericks 9 of 11. That's the first time they have gone to the strike here in the third quarter. It's a 4-point game with 4:15 remaining in the third. And a 3-second defensive violation, and that'll be a technical foul and possession, as Sean Bradley appealing to Ted Bernhardt. And it's very easy to get that kind of a call when you're playing that 2-3 zone.
Exactly. You have to be very alert and have great communication, so you're passing men off back and forth so you can stay within the legal arms limit. There, Bradley got caught in the middle of the lane. Technical foul. But the zone with the 2 point guards, Van Exel and Nash, is almost a must to be played so that people can't post them up.
Antonio Daniels made the free throw as we wind down to 4 minutes remaining in the third. Bonzi Wells with another one from 3-point range. That's 4 on the night. 27 in the game. Don Nelson doesn't like what he sees, and the game is tied at 62. Trailblazers last led by 1 with 2 minutes and 14 left in the first quarter, and they have fought back all the way. The Mavericks leading virtually through this entire game. Here's Sean Bradley with a turnaround. Rebound by Nahara, and he gets the basket. Hard fought inside.
Again, Dale Davis, because Wallace is out on the perimeter guarding Nowitzki, he's almost alone in there by himself to try to rebound against Nahara and Bradley. That's very difficult. The perimeter players for Portland must get back in the paint and rebound the basketball.
And here is Wallace. Doesn't go. Nowitzki coming out of the pack. Mavericks leading by 2, and here is Nash losing the ball out of bounds. So he lost control, and the Trailblazers get it back. Now Rasheed Wallace, who has been under wraps pretty effectively, and now with a few words for Bennett Salvatore as he comes up court.
And Pippen was trying to keep Wallace very focused on the trip back down the floor.
From the corner, Damon Stoudemire, who has come alive offensively, now has 9 points to tie the game again, this time at 64. Van Exel running Daniels into a screen, and the pick and roll to Bradley, who lays it in. So Bradley, his first field goal of the game, and again, the Mavericks up. Rafe LaFrentz on the bench with 5 personal fouls. Bradley on the floor with 4. And the Blazers playing without Scottie Pippen and Derek Anderson, who went out with a knee injury 3 minutes into the game. Stoudemire for 3. Cleared by Nowitzki, and the front court pass Van Exel. Portland gets back. Here's Nash. Nash with a jumper. 17 for Steve Nash, and it's a 4-point Dallas lead. And Nash 7 of 10 from the field after struggling in the first game, and a timeout.
Here comes Nash in transition. Van Exel hits him, does a good thing. Instead of taking it all the way to the defense, he pulls up, shoots the medium range jump shot, knocks it in.
This quarter. So that's been the difference in both games. When we rebound, we win.
That's just excellent timeout work by both coaches. Portland's a very volatile team. Maurice Cheeks very poised, very under control, trying to get everyone focused. And then at the other end, Del Harris, who's one of the great coaches we have in this league, stressing to his team the importance of rebounding. If Dallas can rebound with Portland, they'll win this series. If they can't, Portland's going to hang in this series for a long time.
Or he could have quoted Pat Riley, who said, no rebounds, no rings.
That too, and that's the truth too. You got to rebound to win.
And a foul called away from the ball inside on Nahara. That'll be 3 on Nahara. Mavericks have been in the penalty for most of this quarter, and Rasheed Wallace will go to the line. Wallace tonight has 10 points in the game. And again, Portland most of the time seems to be getting 1 out of 2. Major League Baseball action continues on TBS tomorrow as the Atlanta Braves send Mike Hampton to the mound against the St. Louis Cardinals. And as always, Aaron Andrews will keep you up to date around the league from TBS Sports Control. And Wallace makes one and brings the Trailblazers to within 3 with 1:52 to go in the third.
Portland's done a great job getting to the line. 27 free throw attempts already, but they missed 7 of them. Those 7 points, very valuable.
They missed 10 of 21 in the opening game. Here is Finley with the jumper. He was in rhythm there. So Michael Finley with 9 points and said he felt a lot better from that hamstring, which knocked him out of action for 13 games down the stretch.
Finley's done a great job accepting the third wheel role in Dallas. When he first came here, as Wells, nice dish to Davis for the layup and foul, but I really appreciate Michael Finley being able to go from the #1 option on this team when they were a bad team to letting Nash and Nowitzki develop into the #1 and 2 options, and him taking that third wheel role. He's handled it with great class and great dignity, and it's one of the reasons why this franchise has been able to elevate to a championship level franchise. Michael Finley's sacrifice.
Now Davis missing the first. He's 1 for 3, and once again the Trailblazers giving up some critical points at the line. But the point you just made is so true, because you know there always has to be sacrifices. There are roles for players on teams. You can't just have 5 superstars and everyone have the ball. And as a coach, I think that you recognize those that are willing to let the team take over for the individual more than a lot of fans would.
Exactly, and the same thing with Nick Van Exel. He's been a starter his whole career, now willingly coming off the bench for a good team. You need people who are willing to play a supporting role.
4-point lead, Van Exel with 7 on the shot clock, and McGinnis into the game. Basket counts. McGinnis did not foul, and a tough basket made by Nick Van Exel, who has 10.
The Dallas guards, Nash and Van Exel, have made some very difficult shots tonight, with very good defense being played.
McGinnis with Daniels, and Daniels on the drive. Antonio Daniels. And it's 72-68. The lead is 4. Van Exel coming right back. That's the Dallas Mavericks style, to get the ball up in a hurry. And that's going to be the issue when they move on, if they do get by Portland against the other teams in the West.
Exactly. Shot selection's important there. Nick Van Exel thinking good opportunity to take a 2-for-1. Took a contested 3-point shot. Every coach has a different philosophy on the 2-for-1. Some definitely want to use the 2-for-1 every time. Others would rather get at least one good shot instead of a hurried contested 2-for-1 situation.
16 on the shot clock with under a half a minute to go, and Van Exel, claiming he was fouled, loses it as McGinnis and Daniels double team, and the shot clock is off as the Trailblazers play for the last shot. And will try to come to within 2 or 1 with success here. Here is Wallace for 3. He's got it with 3.6, and still plenty of time for the Mavericks to get a shot off. Here is Van Exel, trapped against the side and in and out, and it would have counted had it gone, but it doesn't. And Van Exel still upset over the last possession when he lost the ball. And Wallace with the 3, giving him 14 points, but it has been Bonzi Wells to pace the Portland Trailblazers with 27 points, going 4 for 4 from downtown. And the score at the end of 3 here at the American Airlines Center in Dallas. Game 2, the Mavericks lead up to 1, 72-71. Capacity crowd of 20,336.
A little bit older dance team, but very, very good, and got a standing ovation as they showed their fine footwork.
They are seasoned, Jeff.
Experience, yes.
And that got a laugh from the crowd and a standing ovation. As we start the 4th quarter, the Trailblazers, who had 12 points in the 3rd quarter in Game 1, had 23 and did not turn the ball over, and that was critical for them. Dale Davis with Bonzi Wells and Rasheed Wallace, who's putting up the shot, along with the backcourt of Antonio Daniels and Jeff McGinnis.
And Sean Bradley takes a lot of grief for his stats, but right there you saw his value. Nowitzki got beat on the post-up. He was there to support Nowitzki, made Wallace take a high-arcing fadeaway shot that missed.
Nash and Van Exel in the backcourt. Nowitzki, Bradley up front with Finley as Nowitzki misses from the corner. Bradley gets the offensive rebound and a Portland foul. Bradley, who's playing with 4 personal fouls. LaFrentz remains on the bench with 5. And the foul is on Dale Davis. 3 on him. There's LaFrentz. Scottie Pippen very active, unable to play because of a knee injury, and Wells steals it from Finley. Picked his pocket. Opening minute of the 4th quarter, Dick Stockton along with Jeff Van Gundy and Craig Sager here in Dallas. Trailblazers trying to even the best of 7, trailing by a point here. And there's Bonzi Wells with the turnaround. Wells now with 29 points, and the Mavericks have their first, or the Trailblazers, their first lead since the last 2 minutes of the 1st quarter.
People don't realize how strong Bonzi Wells is. He is a load down on the low block. He's got a lot of weight over Michael Finley. They should go right back to it.
And McGinnis underneath to Wallace. The basket counts and a foul, and Bradley may have picked up his 5th foul.
We said it the entire first half. The Blazers are doing a great job of hanging in there. Now they're not turning the ball over in transition or in half court, and they're getting finishes. And again, Pippen is very, very involved in this game, and sometimes players are more apt to listen to other players than they are to coaches. He is a great help right now to the coaching staff of the Blazers.
And they brought him to Portland to be a leader, and he can't play tonight, but he can still take on that role. And apparently he is. Wallace missing the free throw. Portland by 3. Scottie Pippen unable to go, had the arthroscopic surgery, and the first game of the series on Saturday was his 3rd game back from that injury. And Van Exel crowded in and the blocking foul. And Rasheed Wallace, number 4 on him.
But you just see how aggressive they are attacking the pick and roll. They're not allowing the Dallas guards, Van Exel and Nash, to control and dictate the tempo. They're stepping out hard, trapping it or showing it. Right now, Wallace with 4 is going to the bench. I think it's going to be a quick rest because they want to play with the lead going down the stretch. They cannot afford him to be out for too long.
Zach Randolph replaces him, and Nowitzki going up, the ball blocked. And the scramble for the loose ball, and a great hustle play by Daniels, who calls the timeout. Antonio Daniels knew that he was seconds away from being tied up and calls the timeout. 20-second timeout by Portland.
Nowitzki beat Randolph off the dribble. It was a strip, very clean. You've got to hit the floor right there if you want to win. Michael Finley's got to get down on the loose ball. Daniels beat him to it and got the timeout. One possession can make the difference with a win or a loss.
NBA.com has compiled 10 of the best shots in NBA playoff history. Log on to see the candidates and vote for the best shot on NBA.com or America Online, keyword NBA.com. Scottie Pippen out on the floor. Well, he's been the most active. Maurice Cheeks is kind of a low-key coach, and Scottie Pippen has been very active. It looks like he's enjoying himself in a non-playing role tonight.
Exactly. Pippen may one day find himself in a coaching position. I think Maurice Cheeks has done an outstanding job with Portland. He sort of let them be themselves, but got them more under control.
The trap on Bonzi Wells forces the turnover, and Finley is fouled. He was going to go in for the easy 2. And Finley is fouled from behind by Wells. So a good trap switch by the Mavericks. And a flagrant foul has been called. And Finley will shoot 2.
Now he's going to shoot 1 here, Dick, because it's a clear path foul. The ruling being that he was ahead of the play when Wells fouled him from behind. So this is going to be one shot and the ball on the side. Finley is on the breakaway. Now Wells has to be in front or on the side when he fouls, unless somebody else is already in front of Finley as a defensive player there. It was a good foul by Wells, but that rule was instituted a couple years ago so that people would not take away breakaway opportunities, because now they can get a possible 4-point play with Finley's 3 and the free throw.
Well, that was a clear path foul, and it worked wonders for Don Nelson, who used to coach against Maurice Cheeks when he played for the 76ers in the 80s. 4 points in 7 seconds, and Wells coming back with a big 2. So Bonzi Wells now with 31 points. Trailblazers up by 1 early here in the 4th. Teams split the regular season 2-2. Very well matched, but Portland playing short-handed without their starting guards. Nash trying to get it over inside to LaFrentz, who's come into the game, and they lose it out of bounds to the Blazers.
Offensively, Wells has given him a great effort, and defensively, everyone that's playing for Portland is playing at max intensity, and that's the way they're holding down this powerful, potent Mavericks team.
And Mo Cheeks has done a great job, obviously, with the troubled year, with the indiscretions off the court, the image problem Portland has had, and here they are playing very hard in Game 2. And here is McGinnis missing the 3, and LaFrentz loses it to Randolph, and LaFrentz is fouled out of the game. Rafe LaFrentz, obviously upset initially, and out of frustration fouled Zach Randolph, who stole the ball from him, and he is fouled out of the game with 8:44 remaining in the 4th quarter with 6 points and 3 rebounds.
Here McGinnis takes the 3-point shot. Good block out by LaFrentz. Doesn't protect it, stripped by Randolph, and then takes the frustration foul.
Sure, Jeff, even though we got a good one going on, and of course inside the NBA presented by Hyundai, because, you know, Pippen is out, Derek Anderson out. The question, will Charles Barkley be out? And it doesn't look good for him at this point.
Well, Charles can play with pain. I saw it many times in my career. But again, it shows you how far the Maloof brothers took an innocent Frank, and they just went overboard, and now they've caused what could be irreparable harm to Charles.
I hope he can still talk. Now, maybe he can't move, but if he can still talk, you know, we get the benefit on TNT, don't we?
I think the Maloofs need to come out and make a public apology to Charles. And again, I'm going to plead to comp him in Las Vegas.
Hey. Oh, Jeff.
And as much as Charles drops sometimes probably in Las Vegas, he should be comped.
All right, well, you're the pitch man of the week.
I am.
One free throw by Randolph, and it's a 78-76 lead with 8 minutes, 35 seconds to go in the 4th.
Portland's already missed 10 free throws tonight.
And here is Nash hitting a 3. So Nowitzki may not be lighting it up like he did in Game 1, but Nash certainly is. He has 20 points and 3 3-point baskets. And the Blazers 6 of 11, but the Mavericks 9 of 22. And it is now a 1-point lead for the Mavericks. They regain the lead with nearly 4 minutes gone by. Blazers have already scored more in the second half in this game than they did all in the 3rd and 4th quarters of Game 1. McGinnis misses, and Dale Davis coming out of nowhere to keep it alive.
Since Dale Davis and Nahara got involved in that scrap, Davis has been a monster on the board.
And the ball tipped away by Nash. 10 on the shot clock for the Trailblazers. Antonio Daniels, who's played a very strong game against the double team. Wells put it up, and Davis getting another offensive rebound on this sequence.
This is like one of those football possessions.
Driving in and getting the basket is Bonzi Wells, and Wells now with 33 points, but credit Dale Davis on those possessions.
Exactly. Bonzi Wells should give Dale Davis those points for that effort. 3 straight times keeping the ball alive with second shots.
Rebounding practically even, and that's where Portland has to excel. And 10 on the shot clock, and here's Nash. He's been red hot. with another three. Steve Nash has hit 4 from downtown, 23 points. And the grimace on the bench by Mo Cheeks as the Mavericks have the lead again, 82-80. So the three-pointers by Nash have given the Mavericks the lead after they trailed. And a foul, and Finley arguing with Bennett Salvatore, called for the personal foul.
Here it goes. Nash throws it in. They set the flare screen on Nash. Nowitzki in the post, skips it across for the three-point shot. Nash got his first three of the game on the same type of action. Then he got another three just a moment ago, faking using the flare screen, coming back and knocking it down off the dribble. Very good basketball played by Dallas there, going inside to the post and then screen.
Bonzi Wells coming around from the baseline now with 35 points, tying the game at 82. With 6:25 to go, the Portland Trail Blazers trying to even the series and playing without their starting guard. Scottie Pippen could not go tonight, and Derek Anderson hurting his knee 3 minutes into the game. And it has been a great hustle effort by the Trail Blazers, and they sustain. Nowitzki hitting the perimeter shot with 21.
And they trap the pick and roll. They fear Nash getting dribble penetration. That leaves Nowitzki on a closeout against Dale Davis to dribble penetrate, shoot the pull-up jump shot.
And he has played the entire game for the Mavericks. An Iron Man effort by Dirk Nowitzki. Here's Wallace alone for three, way off the mark. And it goes over to Dallas. Wallace could not have been more open. And a timeout called. The Mavericks leading 84-82. We'll be right back. Here's tonight's Bud Light headlines. Big Ben does it again. Ben Wallace repeats as Defensive Player of the Year. Doctors, yes. Chris Webber may try to go in Game 3. Baron Davis did not tonight, and we know Scottie Pippen did. And the Hornets now trail 2-0 to the 76ers as they go down to New Orleans.
Stop, Michael! Stop, Michael! 4! On the side.
How do I guard that?
On the side. I don't know how you guard him, Michael, but you don't guard him like that. It's a defensive impede. Please go. Here we go.
Calm down. What did I do wrong?
Calm down. You gotta get out of the game.
What did I do wrong?
That is excellent officiating by Bennett Salvatore. Lesser officials would have overreacted and given Finley a technical foul. Realizing this is the playoffs, it's highly emotional, it's highly charged. He let him state his piece. He told him what he had to do. Then he let it go. He walked away, gave him a chance to cool down. That's why Bennett Salvatore is one of the top officials in the NBA.
And we are locked in a Donnybrook here in Game 2 in the fourth quarter. Dick Stockton, Jeff Van Gundy, and Craig Sager. The Dallas Mavericks, with Van Exel driving in, have just opened up a 4-point lead after the Portland Trail Blazers, who have been trailing most of the game, took the lead. And they're back up now with 5:05 to go. Van Exel with 12 points in the game. And the Mavericks trying to take a 2-0 lead against the Trailblazers, who are playing without Scottie Pippen and Derek Anderson, who got hurt. But Bonzi Wells has been out of sight tonight. He has 37 points, and Nahara fouled from behind by Wells at the other end.
When Wells scored, they had Nahara matched up against him. Wells knocks in the jumper. No defensive balance by Portland. The point guard has to get all the way back to protect the basket. Nahara ran out. Great advance pass by Nash up the floor. Leads to 2 free throws. They have Nahara now guarding Bonzi Wells to try to take him out of the post. What does Wells do? He takes him on the perimeter, backs him up with some dribble moves, and knocks in the jumper.
Nahara making good on the first. Rafe LaFrentz fouled out for the Mavericks with 8:44 left in the third after scoring 6 points and getting 3 boards. Sean Bradley, there is LaFrentz. Sean Bradley playing despite 5 fouls. Nahara, native of Mexico, converts the free throws. He has 10 points and 5 off the glass. A 4-point lead for the Dallas Mavericks. Jeff McGinnis getting it to Davis, not an offensive force. Wells going strong, beating Nahara in, and the blocking foul. Great move to the basket by Bonzi Wells again.
Again, Bonzi Wells offensively has done it all. He has driven it, he shot the three, he's hit the pull-ups, and now he's getting himself to the free throw line.
And Bradley is fouled out of the game. Sean Bradley committing his 6th foul. So 2/3 of the Mavericks starting front court, all 7-footers, have fouled out. And Bradley with 3 points and 6 rebounds, and Michael Finley will come in. So it is a smaller unit now used by Don Nelson with Nowitzki, the lone big man for the Mavs. And Bonzi Wells makes the first and has established a season and career high with points with 38. Wells had scored 37 this year, and that was a career high earlier. And now he has 38 points tonight. Then he's gone over 30. The Trailblazers have not lost, and he's really gone well over 30 now. He's got 39. Under 4.5 to play in the 4th quarter. And the lead is back down to 2 for the Mavericks. Nahara behind to Finley. Finley very smoothly has come back, looking very healthy out there with 15. 4-point lead. Mark Cuban under the bench, or under the basket, watching things intently. Here's Wells down low against the sea of white jerseys, and he scores. So Bonzi Wells with 41 now cuts the lead to 2.
And that was against the triple team. They fronted him very well. Excellent pass over the top. And then they swarmed him, but he found a way because he's got such a good body, knows how to use it to create space, got it up on the board.
Here's Nowitzki with a pick and spot up. A 3 for Dirk Nowitzki. And Mark Cuban and the Dallas fans feel it couldn't come at a better time. And the lead is up to 5. That's his 3rd three-pointer of the game.
And again, if you're going to trap Nash on the pick and roll,
and Wells comes back with another 3. What a shootout this is going down to the stretch.
If you're going to trap Nash on a pick and roll with Nowitzki, you've got to get rotation to him. Dale Davis has got to pull the trigger and get back to Nowitzki. Now they've switched it. He'll post up Stoudemire.
Wells with 44 points tonight. Nowitzki has 24. Gets the ball in good position in Nahara. And the score is now 95-91 under 3 minutes remaining. And it's been the Bonzi Wells show with 44 points, 17 here in the 4th quarter. And the shot clock to 12. And McGinnis gets it to Rasheed Wallace. Nahara defending him, and Wallace works his way in for the basket. And it's a 2-point Dallas lead.
But Portland's going to have to solve the Nash Nowitzki pick and roll. It's the most feared pick and roll in the NBA.
Neither team has a foul to give with under 2.5 to play in regulation. Double team on Nowitzki. Ball movement. Here's Van Exel penetrating. Nowitzki with a fake and a fall away. And Finley underneath converts. Michael Finley in the right place at the right time. And again, a 4-point Dallas edge. Finley tonight has 17 points. So Don Nelson is getting the balance he wants. Not one big score as he did in game 1. 9 on the shot clock with 1:52 on the game clock. And here is Wells. Not this time. Davis with another critical offensive rebound. McGinnis driving in. Tough basket by Jeff McGinnis.
And Maurice Cheeks was calling for a timeout. He didn't like how that possession was going after the rebound by Dale Davis. McGinnis got a good driving layup, but again, their stops have to come down here.
First points of the game for McGinnis, and a steal and a timeout. They're going to call the jump ball. So before McGinnis could call the timeout, the jump ball was signaled by the officials, and I'm not so sure about this, Jeff.
He got the timeout called, but neither official could see him. They were blocked out by the other players.
And a timeout.
There's Bonzi Wells using his big body down there to create space and an inside basket. And now they guard him with a bigger guy, take him out of the post. What does he do? Faces up Nowitzki and knocks down the three.
44 for Bonzi.
All right, thanks, Scotty. Dick.
Boy, he was ready with an answer, wasn't he, Jeff?
Yeah, Craig let him know what I was at. Hey, you got to have everybody in that huddle right now. Forget TNT. Think team right now.
I know. We have had this game go back and forth. There have been 17 lead changes in the game. 6 here in the fourth quarter alone. Neither team has a foul to give. Portland has 1 full timeout left. The Mavericks have 2 fulls into 20, so they're loaded with timeouts, and the jump ball coming up.
And Portland's got to look to steal this tap. Wells and Wallace have got to be active trying to get the tap.
And it's controlled by Nowitzki. Finley looked as if to shoot, passed it up. 1:16 on the clock. Nash has made some big baskets here in the fourth quarter to keep the Mavericks up there. They're up by 2. Nowitzki way off the mark. And there will be a Portland foul in the process. And the Trailblazers in the penalty. And Wells picking up his 4th foul.
And that foul had been worked from the first shot Nowitzki took tonight. Don Nelson and Del Harris had been on the referees about the Blazers hitting Nowitzki on his elbow as he went up to shoot. I had no angle to see whether he did that or not, but they had been working the officials for that call all night.
Nowitzki now 6 for 6 and 25 points. He's made all 6 free throws. So he has matched the season's average. So you don't need 46 in every game. And Don Nelson says sometimes guys will double their season average, but more often than not they won't. And a rare miss for Nowitzki, who is normally brilliant from the line, 88%.
A big miss because now it's a 1-possession game.
98-95, under a minute to go. 10 on the shot clock for the Trailblazers. Wells has shouldered the offense tonight, fires it up, and Dale Davis puts it through, and the foul. And a chance to tie the game for the Trailblazers. Dale Davis, who has made some great offensive rebounds tonight, gets a big basket.
Nowitzki had to help because Wells was in penetration. That leaves nobody on Davis. He goes up, grabs the air ball, and sticks it in. And there's Coach Pippen. Very happy with that result.
I thought Mo Cheeks was the head coach of this club.
He is, and he has done a great job with a lot of help from Coach Pippen tonight.
So Bonzi Wells, 44 points, another 40 plus in the NBA playoffs.
Michelin designed the cross-terrain SUV tires specifically for SUVs to help provide responsive handling and a smooth ride. You'd be surprised just how smooth. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
When it was introduced last year, it immediately won all kinds of awards. We can't predict what it will win this year, but we're pretty confident you're a shoo-in for the Dad of the Century Award. The revolutionary 4-stroke FX140 from Yamaha. Breaking new ground in family fun.
And a feverish finish to this game as the Mavericks lead the Trailblazers 98-97 with 48.2. So, Coach, how does this game play out in your view?
Well, first, I think Don Nelson took a great timeout. Instead of waiting to see Dale Davis shoot the free throw and then take his timeout, what did he do? He called it to ice him a little bit, 63% free throw shooter. Secondly, I think Dallas is going to go for a 2-for-1. 48.2 left on the clock. They want to get 2 good offensive possessions, try to shoot before 33, and then have Portland get 1 shot, and then hopefully for Dallas, they get the last shot. So, good timeout by Don Nelson. Try to put a little bit more pressure on Dale Davis, and then probably explain 2-for-1 situation offensively.
Portland and Dallas each with 1 full timeout. The Mavericks also have a 20. Both teams in the limit or in the penalty, and Dale Davis with a big game, 34 years old in his 12th year, 6 offensive rebounds amongst 15 boards in the game. But now they need his free throw shooting, and despite the 63%, hits the clutch one to tie the game.
Exactly. Dale Davis has been an effort player his whole career, and his effort tonight has been outstanding.
Tied at 98, 15 on the shot clock, and nearly thrown away. Nowitzki's a big wingspan kept it. Nash with 7 on the clock for 3 and a big one. Steve Nash has done this all night for the Mavericks. That is his 5th of the game, and it's 101-98, timeout Portland.
And what happened there was Portland switched the pick and roll, left Dale Davis on Steve Nash. He backed him off with a dribble move. Davis had to give ground. That gave Nash the airspace to line up the three-point shot, and bang, he knocked it down.
26 points and 5 for 6 from three-point range for Steve Nash, who did not have a good shooting game in game 1, and the Trailblazers have used their last timeout.
What is it?
It's a magic business lamp.
We got it in the merger.
You rub it and the business genie grants you 3 wishes.
Cut overhead. Increase efficiency.
Improve service. Rub the lamp.
Yeah, it's for you.
It's the genie.
Hi.
The first major advance for the fastest treatment of athlete's foot is Lamisil AT. Lamisil AT is the first non-prescription medicine proven to kill the fungus with just 1 week's use. Not even a prescription can beat that. Lotrimin AF and Tinactin still expect you to treat for 4 weeks. Who's gonna do that? When your feet itch and burn, using Lamisil AT 1 week keeps you athlete's foot free 3 months. Lamisil AT. There's no better way to cure athlete's foot.
29.7, no timeouts left for the Trailblazers. What do you think their plan could be?
Well, I think what they have to do is decide, are they going to go for a quick 2 or are they going to look for the 3? I think they should try to expose the basket, drive it hard, Bonzi Wells, have the defense collapse to him. If he can kick into the open 3, great. If no help comes, take it to the rim, try to get a layup, get fouled, and then try to foul Dallas. But the problem with that strategy is Dallas is the #1 free throw shooting team in the NBA. So they're most likely not going to give you the misses you need.
In fact, they were the second best in NBA history at 83% from the line. There you see the 3-point field goals. The Mavericks, incredibly, 12 for 25. But it's been Bonzi Wells, if you're looking for threes, he's 5 for 6 tonight. So the shot clock starts, 29.7 to go, 3-point lead for the Mavericks. Trying to make it 2 games to none over the Trailblazers, and the pushing foul and by Nash, both teams in the penalty. So a chance now, and that was not a good foul. You don't want to stop the clock at this rate, and Wells will go to the line.
Again, it's 30 feet from the basket. Wells crosses over. That's a difficult foul call at this time of the game, but Wells has got to knock these down. Again, Portland has struggled all year from the free throw line, and now it's going to be a free throw shooting contest from here on. The person Portland wants to foul is Nahara.
Ruben Patterson checks in, and Dale Davis goes out of the game. There's Nahara with a big game, 12 points and 6 rebounds. And here is Wells, misses the second free throw. Finley the rebound, and they're going to be forced to foul. It's 101-99. 15 on the shot clock, differential of a second and a half. Here is Nash, and the foul is called. 13 on the shot clock, 14.5, and you're fouling one of the great foul shooters in the NBA.
The problem right there was not only did you not make the free throw or get the rebound, but you allowed 10 seconds to run off the clock before you fouled the great free throw shooter. Now he can make it a 2-possession game, plus you have no timeouts. You have to know exactly what you're going to run right here if you're Portland as you advance the ball up the floor.
Nash 1 for 2 tonight from the line. 91% good enough for third in the NBA. And this is the big one right now. If Nash can make the free throw, it would make it a 2-possession game with 14.5 left. Antonio Daniels checking in. Remember, the Portland Trailblazers, no times out remaining. Nash gives the Mavericks a 4-point lead. Time running out. 2-possession game. Damon Stoudemire and Wallace fires a 3. Long rebound. McGinnis is going to fire a 3, and he misses. The rebound, Mahara, and that'll do it. The Dallas Mavericks taking a 2-0 lead. Close call for Don Nelson and company. And you got to give the Trailblazers and Mo Cheeks a lot of credit because they played without Scottie Pippen. Derek Anderson went out early with the injury. Bonzi Wells kept them in the game with 44 brilliant points, but Dallas survived at the end. Let's send it over to Craig Sager, who's with Steve Nash.
Well, Steve, 28 points. Obviously, the big ones down the stretch. The clutch free throws, the three-pointer. Talk about the playoff intensity and the defense of this game.
This is an important game. I mean, we really had a great opportunity here to get a good jump on these guys and go up to Portland with not much to lose. And now we can go up there and hopefully play a little bit better and get a win.
The free throws clinch it, but the game-winning basket was the 3. All night long, Jeff Van Gundy was saying how the pick and roll of you two guys with Nowitzki, the hardest one to stop in the NBA. Did they do something different when they switched it and had Dale Davis on you?
Yeah, it was kind of a broken play. And, I actually picked up my dribble, and it's hard to defend against a broken play. I got it back, and Dale was on me, so I had an opportunity to try to take him from the perimeter.
To survive a tremendous game like that from Bonzi Wells, is that kind of surprising, or did you realize how many points he had?
It was. I mean, he was, unstoppable, but hopefully our defense will improve a little bit, to say the least.
Happy you held home court advantage here with these 2 wins?
Of course. I mean, that's what, that's the most important thing is holding home court. Now we got a chance to go up there and steal one.
Great game. Let's go back to Dick.
All right, thank you very much, Craig. 103-99, and Mo Cheeks complaining that he thought Steve Nash's foot was on the line for the last 3.
Sure looks that way right there. Tough angle to see, but it looks like that right foot came over the line. And again, that changes the whole makeup of the game if in fact his foot was on the line.
So Nash had 28, including 3 threes in the fourth quarter. Nowitzki had 25 points. The Dallas Mavericks take a 2-0 lead as the series moves on to Portland, winning tonight 103-99. We'll be right back.